tonight we are playing One Deck Dungeon, which is a dice and card game I found whilst on a double date, actually. My wife and I were on a double date with Butts and Girl Butts, who y'all know from the Wednesday night streams, and Butts showed us a board game store they found, and I didn't want to leave empty-handed, so while I was there, I grabbed One Deck Dungeon. Let me adjust the size of this chat box here. There we go. So, I've played a few games of this. I'm going to try to describe it as best I can. Without further ado, let's start the unboxing. I know how much you all love unboxing out there in the world of content. Okay, so we've got the instruction book. Hopefully won't be needing that too much, but there it is, instruction book. We have lots of cards, lots and lots of cards. So, let's see. So we've got a turn reference. This is sort of what we'll use to get us through. Put that over there. Turn reference. We'll just pop that right there, I think. That's a good spot. And then we have our characters, which we'll go through momentarily. Cards. Let's see. I think I actually want to adjust this camera. Let's see. There we go. This is my first time doing this. I apologize if it's a little touch and go at the beginning, but once we get going, we'll be good. I just want to be able to reach everything easily and not have my arms be very, very tired very quickly. So, okay. Turn reference. That's much better. Okay. So we've got our characters. Let's go ahead and get this going. So we've got 5 characters to choose from. This is a 1 to 4 player game, which I love because that means I can play it anytime I want. I don't have to wait. So we've got 5 characters to choose from, and I'm gonna let you chat. Grudgehammer, welcome to the stream. Glad to see ya. Outlook is trying to tell me that there are WWE tickets available right now. Enough of that. So let's vote on this. I'm going to get a poll going. And you guys tell me if you want me to play as... Let's see. Who to play as? We have the Paladin, the Warrior, the Rogue, the Archer, and the Mage. All right, so this is sight unseen. I know all of you probably haven't seen this game before, so you don't know what each character does, etc. But just sight unseen. Just tell me who looks cool. Who do you want me to play? Is the Paladin? The Paladin is not from Furman. It's not a Furman Paladin. Go Eagles. But yes, all ladies too, by the way. I like the I guess diversity isn't the right word, but when looked at the larger scale of all video games, it's refreshing. Let's see. Lots of warrior choices. The warrior is certainly not a bad one. And the poll is... It is over. We'll be playing as the warrior tonight. That's not a problem at all. I like the warrior. I think the paladin and the warrior are a little easier because they're sort of health based, and you know, health is the currency of games like this. So we'll be playing as the warrior. We'll put her up there. Get my turn reference back down here. Warrior, especially if it's Steph Curry. Well, there you go. Lots of sports fans in the audience tonight. So then this is actually, you can actually play multiple campaigns. Like there's a set of rules they wrote where I could play multiple games and have the warrior slowly level up and be persistent throughout multiple games. But we won't be doing that tonight. We've got these little white squares. These represent potions. You can see these here, the potions. It was a tough choice, I admit. All right, so these are potions. We'll set those off camera for now. We'll get those into play when we begin. We also have health counters. These are just red hearts. They'll be placed on my character as I take damage. I'll go more into that shortly. And we've got dice. Ladies and gentlemen, this game is all about the dice. All about the dice. So, oh yeah. Get them all out. So, these are colored dice. You can see that there are yellow ones. There are red ones. There are blue ones. And there are black ones. And these actually represent the 3 different stats. So let's take a look at the warrior here. So as you can see, there we go. The warrior has... do I need to turn this? Do I need to point this ring light in a different direction? Whoop. Let's see. Maybe just for the time being. All right. So we've got the warrior here. She has 4 swords, which represents like strength, that sort of thing. 2 little Hermes boots, that represents agility. The little blue diamond represents magic ability. And of course the hearts represents health. And if you see, that is exactly what these dice represent. This is our strength dice, agility dice, magic dice, and these black ones are heroic dice, which can be used as any color. They're like a wild card. So, you know about those. We're going to move them to the side. All right. Now you've seen the dice. I've said this was a dice and card game, so let's go into the cards. So on top, we have our dungeons. So we've got the Dragon's Cave, the Yeti's Cavern, the Hydra's Reef, the Lich's Tomb, and the Minotaur's Maze. Now these are actually arranged in order of difficulty. I forgot where it shows the difficulty, but the Dragon's Cave is the least difficult. Where does it say that? I think it's in the instruction book. The Dragon's Cave is the least difficult, so we'll be starting with the Dragon's Cave tonight. And we'll be lucky if we get through that. I'll be honest, this game is kind of hard. That or I just haven't figured out all the intricacies yet. But so what we're going to do is, these represent the 3 floors of the dungeon. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that right here and cover up 2 of them. So we are on floor 1, the Dragon's Cave. These next few cards are for the campaign play, which we won't do. But then the next cards are leveling up. So These cards represent our levels. Our character can level up to level 4. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. So, just going to put those... I believe they go right about there. There is no rhyme or reason to the placement of the cards or any of that sort of thing. You just kind of figure it out on your own. Oh, there we go. We'll get some off light. Some off kind of... That's good. Okay. What is left? I'll tell you what's left. The actual dungeon. So these cards are doors, as you can see. There they are. Are doors that with handles on them that we can open. And inside them are perilous things like perils. And monsters like rats and things like that. But these are the things that need to be shuffled. Although at the bottom of each floor of the dungeon is a set of stairs. So that's going to go right there. And I'm going to shuffle these cards really quick. Just so they're randomized. I don't know what they are. Oop. Little ASMR of shuffling card sounds. I'm now going to shuffle the cards. I'm sorry, I apologize for nothing. Okay, these are pretty shuffled. I shuffled them up some before. So they go on top of our stairs here. When we get to the bottom of the deck, we will hit the stairs and we will send to floor 2. So this is the setup. This is ready to be started. So what do we do from here? Well, we've got to start exploring this dungeon. So the Dragon's Cave is a quote-unquote short dungeon. So what we have to do is first things first, we have to look at what we have to do because we are on floor 1. And it says, oh, get that out of here. All right. Hall of Statues. Spend an extra 5 time before your first turn on each floor. So the first thing we're going to do is discard 5 sort of time. And what that means is we spin the deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a discard pile. Those cards have been removed because this is our first turn on the floor. So we're going to follow the Hall of Statues rules there. So here we go. Turn reference. Right here at the start of each turn, spend 2 time. So we're going to spend our 2 time. 1, 2. Then we can either explore, which means we generate our doors, or enter a door, which we obviously can't do. So we have to explore. So we're going to explore, which means we take 4 cards and simply set them out. So think of it as we've just entered the Dragon's Cave, we've entered the Hall of Statues, and before us are 4 doors. Like a Honda Civic. So, and that is the end of that turn. That's all we can do. Turn is over. So, we will now spend 2 more time, according to the turn reference. Spend 2 time. And we can now open a door. So now I'm not too much of a believer in superstition. It's all just chance, so it doesn't really matter to me which door I flip over. So I'm just going to flip over this one and see what we have. I've uncovered a Wraith. Let's take a look at this card. Can I just do this? All right. Yeah. There we go. So I've uncovered the Wraith. So now I have a choice. So now that I have made an encounter, I can run away. It's possible to run away and leave the door open. Or I could choose to fight. I could choose to fight the encounter. So because I chose the warrior, I have almost no magic. And I'll go into it later, how the fights work. But there's blue 9. So like I'd have to roll a blue 9 and a blue 6 to cover these squares, which I don't feel comfortable doing. So I'm actually going to run away because as far as the warrior is concerned, this is that'll be a tough battle to fight. So I'll start a new turn, spend 2 more time, 1, 2, and you don't want to spend too much time. You don't want to run away from everything because like a real video game RPG, if you do not win battles, gain experience, gain items, you will end up at the boss sorely unable to win. So we definitely want to fight something. But I've spent my 2 time. Let's flip over another card. A bandit. Okay. So I flipped over the bandit here. And I think I would like to fight him since he has red and yellow. Now I don't have great red, but I have more red than I have blue. So we're going to try it. This one's going to hurt. I'll admit this isn't going to go perfectly well, but here's where the warrior's stats come into play. The character you guys chose is what we will be doing next. And the stats represent the dice we will be able to roll. So the warrior has 4 swords. So that's going to give us 4. Let me do this. So that's going to give us 4 strength, 2 agility, and 1 magic. Let's see. All right, yes, so these are the dice I'm going to get to roll. I don't have any heroic dice yet. But another thing is, in order to generate a harder dungeon as time goes, there's also a square up here that I have to fill. I have to cover that with a 3. Let me just roll. It'll be easier to explain what's going to happen once I make a roll. Okay. Okay, there's some things I can work with here. So, let me sort this all out. Also, I just found out there's a video game version of this that they must have recently made. So, if you guys see this and you think, oh, that looks good, but I'd rather not do all this setup, there's a video game version of this, so you could try that. Okay, so what we want to do is cover up these squares using the dice I've rolled. So to cover up these yellow 5s, I have to have a 5 or a 6 of yellow dice. Also, this 3 is also a yellow. So I think you have to cover the dungeon square first. So let's take care of the dungeon requirement. Take a yellow 3 and put it right there. Boom. This is kind of the satisfying part to me. I like this part of the game. So now we can start covering up squares on our bandit and try to beat him. So we've got those 2 5s. So we can cover that up with a yellow 5. Yellow 5 to yellow 5. We can use this 6 to cover that up. So now we've got a bunch of red squares left. And these are our dice left. What do we have up there? A 3? Okay, Let's cover up the 8 first, because that's going to hurt. So if I take any uncovered squares, you have to take as damage. So if I don't cover up this 8, I take 2 hearts of damage. Let me know if you guys can't see this, and I'll make sure to kind of zoom the camera in. So we're going to cover that up. We're going to cover this up with a 6 and a 3. That makes 9. So it's going to be a little bit of overkill, but we're going to use those to cover up our 8. Now here's something interesting. Part of the rules are you can take 2 dice and receive a heroic dice for the lowest number between the 2. So I can actually take this unused Strength 4 and Magic 5, take the lowest number of 4, trade both of those in for a heroic dice of 4. And so, as I said, that is a wild dice. I can use that to cover any square. So I'm going to cover up this 3 that I would normally need a red for, and that's going to prevent me from taking an extra damage. Okay, so that is it. That is everything I can do with my dice. Now here's the way it works. If you survive the battle, you win. And we are going to survive the battle because we've successfully covered everything except for this red 4, which I didn't have anything for. But as you can see, the price for it is 1 time. So the bandit has successfully wasted my time, just like I'm wasting yours tonight. So the battle is won. So let's put all my dice back, get them neat and where they belong. Oh, I forgot to mention, at the beginning of every floor, you also get a potion. Completely forgot to do that during setup. Right now, the only potion I have is a healing potion, which is heal 3 damage at the start of a turn, or 2 damage anytime. So that's just straight up a healing potion. But we can get more potions that do different things later. Now, here's where things get neat. So this is our bandit card. Now I've got 3 things. Oh, actually, he had an ability that says making a heroic dice uses 3 dice, not 2. So that means I actually wasn't able to make the heroic dice to cover the 3. So, my mistake, I am owed 1 damage. So, there we go. The warrior has taken 1 hit. I'm sorry I didn't see that earlier. Okay, now that we've won the battle, we have a choice to make. We can either take an item, which means I can take 1 point of magic and add it to my character, which will give me 1 more blue dice to roll. I can take a skill, which this is backstab, which means I can trade in 1 red dice to roll 2 strength dice. Or I can take experience points, which if I do that, you see down here, it takes 6 lanterns to level up. So you can see that those 2 things kind of match up. This symbol down here matches this symbol up here. I think what I will actually do here I think I will take the item. I think I'll give myself another blue dice. And boom, did you like that? Did you like how that worked? So the card goes right there, and now you can see it's added directly to my character's stats. I now have an extra blue dice I can roll. Alright, so that is the end of that turn. Not too bad for the first fight, really. So I'm going to spend 2 more time. Because again, spend 2 time. Then I think I would like to explore another room. So see what we've got right here. It's a fire elemental, which is going to require lots of blue dice to beat. Blue and red. I stand a very small chance against this. Oh! Also, I keep forgetting small things. So the warrior has a heroic feat, which is I can roll any or all of my dice stored there, and I store a heroic dice here for each damage I take. You may store up to 2 dice at a time. So I did take damage on that last turn, so I actually get a free heroic dice to store. Boom. So now I can choose to go ahead and use a heroic feat. Well, no, I'm going to run away is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to run away, start a new turn. Spend 2 time, open another door. Okay, this is good. Okay, so this is a different kind of card. Instead of a battle, it's a trap or a peril. So this means I have 2 choices. I can either clobber the logs, which costs 2 time, but I only have to roll an 8 with my yellow dice. Or I can dodge the logs, which requires no time, but I need to roll 14 of the red, which is going to be very difficult. Heart of the cards! Blue Eyes White Dragon. That's what we're going to do. But this is the game I bought at that bookstore, at the board game store in Pleasant Hill. So an 8, that's not going to be a problem. I'm actually going to keep my my heroic dice stored. I will choose to clobber the logs. So I'm going to go ahead and spend my 2 time. And you also have to do this now. There's a peril side and a combat side. So since this is a peril, I also have to roll a 2 and spend that here. So using 4 dice, my strength dice, because I have 4 strength. Yeah, I'm feeling confident. I'm going to save my heroic dice here and just roll my 4 strength dice. The others don't come into it because it's a strength piece. So let's see what I get. Here we go. Oh, good rolls. Good rolls. Okay. I got a 6, a 5, a 4, and a 3. So I'm going to go ahead and use my 3 to cover up the peril. The dungeon placement over there. And then I can easily just use whatever combination of these to cover up the 8. And that's it. So there's no damage, no penalties. That was successfully done. So, apparel. Apparel. Not apparel. Apparel. It's apparel. It's a perilous situation. So now once again, I have my choice. I can take the ability, the item, or the experience. What is this? So this is the ability is gain a yellow 4 and a red 4. Oh, it's like a magic. If I roll a 4, then I can spend it. Do I have the apparel for apparel? No, it's too perilous. It's far too perilous. This ability means if I roll a blue 4, I can spend it to gain a yellow 4 and a red 4 and increase a random dice of my choice by 1. This is pretty good. Decisions. Oh, and by the way, I can't take the item. I can convert this one to experience if I want and replace it with this, but because I'm only at level 1, I can only have 1 item and 2 skills. So I can't add this directly to this just yet. I'd have to level up first. I think I'll take the experience. I think I want the experience. So that's going to go right there. So that's 3. I'm halfway to level 2. That's great. All right. Let's do another turn. 1, 2. Now, I don't really want to fight either of these enemies. So I'm going to explore and find myself 2 more doors, which will end my turn. Exploring ends your turn. So I'm going to discard 2 more cards to begin my turn and flip over something else and hope it's something I stand a chance against. Yes, the beetle. Let's take a look at the beetle. All right, survivor. If any armor cards are empty, discard this instead of looting. So the deal with the armor is armor cards, these little shields that are on 4 of the different numbers here, have to be covered before I can cover any of the other 2. And according to the survivor, if I don't cover them, if I don't cover the shields, I get nothing from this encounter. But I do want to fight, so that's what I'm going to do. So, let me get out my dice. Let me get out my 4 strength, my 2 agility, my now 2 magic, because I got that item earlier. And, just to be safe, I think I'm actually going to use my heroic dice as well. Just to be safe. So, that's a nice little pile there. Peril apparel appeared. Perilous peril. The perilous peril apparel. All right. Let's roll them and see what happens. There we go. Okay, let's sort this out. Terrible roll on the heroic dice, but oh well. All right, so we've got to cover our shields first. So these. So let's see. All right, well, I can certainly use the blue to cover the blue. Then we have what? A 3 and a 4? Oh, good. I can cover those. Covered and covered. I need a 5 of strength, so we'll use our 5 of strength. Okay, so we've covered up all our shields. So now we can address any damage and try to block any damage from coming in. I don't have a yellow 6, so I don't think I can cover that. Really wish this heroic dice hadn't been a 1. Oh, if that had been a 3, that would have really helped. Yeah, I mean, really, like, these 1s and that 2 are almost garbage. I don't even think I can use them. So then that really just leaves me, I can't do anything with the blue 6 either, and I don't think I can, any of that converted to a heroic dice would be at most a 2. So, I think I will cover up, well, there's only one thing I can cover up, and it's the dungeon one over there. So, that means I'm going to take what's left in these 2 squares. So that's going to be a health and a time and 2 more times. So the battle's over and my damage done is 3 time. 1, 2, 3, which gets us ever closer to the dungeon floor. And 1 health. Apparently, yes. So, that gives us 2 damage. The good news is, we can store another heroic dice right there as a heroic feat. And it is now time, once again, to, get our spoils! The spoils of war. If any of you have any questions at all, ask them. I know some of you might be coming in, a little late after I've explained a lot of this. So if any of you have any questions, goodness, 8 viewers. Welcome everyone to all our lurkers and chatters. Goodness. Thank you so much for coming in. So yes, so the beetle has been beaten. The beat beetle has been beaten. So I can either do this, I can either gain this ability, which is cash in 3 agility and gain a 6 heroic dice. That's excellent, but I have no chance of rolling 3 red dice yet. So what I'm going to do, this is in the instruction book, I'm actually going to take the item, which will replace this, although item-wise, it changes nothing. But that now converts this to experience, which means I now have 6 experience, which means these cards actually get exiled for some reason. They get completely removed from the game. But then I go to level 2. So that gives me an extra potion, +1 potion for reaching level 2. Boop, there's another potion. I can now have 3 items and 3 skills. Right now I have no extra skills other than Second Wind. I also get +1 encounter bonus, so I actually get a free heroic dice now in every battle, which is very helpful. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It has Magic the Gathering feel, but it's very different in a way. It's not duel based. It's very PvE. In fact, it is PvE. Even if I was playing with 3 other people, up to the 4 players that you can play, we would all be tackling the dungeon together. So that's actually my favorite thing about this game, is that, first off, PvP intimidates and frightens me. So I really like PvE. I love cooperative games, and this is definitely one of those. And it can be played 1 player. And as you can see, depending on how you shuffle, you can get different cards each time. As I showed you guys earlier, there's multiple dungeons we can go through that each have their own boss, by the way. There are boss fights at the end of all this mess. So, of course, there's a dragon at the end of the Dragon's Cave. So it's like Magic the Gathering, except instead of creatures, you have dice. And instead of a person on the other side of the table, it's a dragon. So, that's neat. Okay. Let's start our next turn. Spin 2 time. So each time we spend time, we get closer to those stairs. We get closer to floor 2 of the dungeon. And if you remember, once we get to floor 2, the difficulty goes up and we have more boxes to fill. So you want to fight the battles you can fight, and you want to win those battles with as little damage as possible. So spent the 2 time. Let's flip our last door here. It's another peril. It's a peril. Not apparel like I'm wearing American Eagle. It's a peril. It's a peril. So we've got a cave in. I can either dismantle it and try to roll 6 yellow, or I can try to roll 11 red. And again, I have 4 strength. I only have 2 agility. So I definitely want to go for dismantling it, which, as you can see, once again, costs me 2 time right off the bat. The easiest option always costs a little time. And then I want to roll a 6 using just my 4 yellow dice and this heroic dice that I got for getting to level 2. I could also choose to roll my heroic feat, but I'm going to save that one. Anything over here can be saved. All right, here we go. And of course, remember, I also have to fill the dungeon requirement, the floor requirement. So here we go. So we got That'll do it. That'll do it. We can cover up the 2 over here. With that, we've got the 6 easy with pretty much any combination of 2 dice otherwise. So, excellent work, everybody. Good rolls, good juju from the chat. The cave-in, the music from the Dragon Quest XI is keeping me going. Okay, so now I can either add more items, and I can get a skill. And, I actually like this skill. So what the skill is, if I roll a blue 2, I can spend it to gain a 5. So essentially, this is as long as I roll a 2, I have at least a 5. So I'm actually going to take that and watch this. Zoop. So as you can see, I love that. I love how they made it to where the enemy cards slide onto your character and just organically makes it look like a better card. It's very cool. Okay. Whoops. Quit bumping the table. It is apparent that the apparel has appeared. Yes, indeed. So let's keep going. Let's keep this happening. Let's take another turn. 1, 2. Now, I've got a little better chance at beating that Wraith. And I think I'm going to do just... No, I'm not going to do that. And I'll tell you why. Because it has Drain. It says, if I fight this encounter, I have to convert 1 item to XP. And I don't want to get rid of that. I don't want to lose that. So I'm going to use this turn to explore. So I'm going to get myself 2 more doors. And that's the end of that turn. Start a new turn. Discard 2 more cards. Ooh, getting close to those stairs, folks. Getting close to floor 2. And I'm going to select an encounter. Let's try the bottom door. Boop. Okay. It's a shadow. That looks horrifying. But the rewards are good. There's 2 items in 1 for this. Or I can get a new potion. But very unlikely to win. Because I have to cover the shield up. And if I can't cover the shield up, I can cover no other cards. Which means I would have to, between my 2 red dice and my heroic dice, I would have to get a 10. Well, that doesn't sound too terrible. You know what? Let's do it. Let's go nuts. Let's fight the shadow. And I will be using my heroic feat. So we're going to grab both of those. We're going to grab 4 of my strength. 4 strength. 2 agility. 2 blues. 2 magic. And a partridge in a pear tree. Okay. Let's do it. Oh, excellent. Okay. All right. So, shield's got to go first. Look at this. I rolled it perfect. That 10 is covered. All right. Ooh, but I did pretty bad on all my other rolls. I'll go ahead and cover up the dungeon floor requirement with that 3. I can cover up a 4 blue. I can cover up a 5 blue. But unfortunately, with these 5 dice, I didn't roll above a 3. And there are no more requirements. less that are 2 or less. So I don't think if any one of these had been a 3, I could have combined them for a heroic dice and covered up at least that blue 3, but I don't have it. Thank you, Dragon Quest 11. All right, how many players can play this game? It is up to 4. Up to 4 players, 1 through 4. I think you can actually buy 2 decks and do 8 if you really wanted to go nuts. What's really interesting is, I'll show you this really quick. If you do play like 2-player, I would play the reverse side of this. It's like a 2-player variant where the stats are a little thinner, so that way the and I get like a different ability that kind of goes with other people's things. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat how this game just kind of metamorphs. I really like that aspect of it. How I mean, the game truly is different almost every time you play it. Oh, and put these back on. All right. Blue 3, can't make 1. Yellow 5, I cannot make 1. So, that is that. That's the end of that. But, so now I'll take my damage. So, that blue 3 has a heart and a time. The yellow 5 has a heart and a time. So, that's going to be 2 hearts of damage. And 2 time. 1, 2. Okay. But now, again, to the victor go the spoils. So, and I didn't use an ability, so the shadows fade ability didn't come into play. But now here's what's cool, is I can either add a health and a yellow dice to my rolls, 3 experience, or I can give myself a potion, which lets me change 2 of my non-heroic dice to 6s. Ooh, which is really good. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to give myself another potion. So that, of course, slides right under there. So now I have 2 different kinds of potions, and I can choose. So, like, I have 2 potions from earlier, and whenever I use one, I can choose what those potions do. Now, how many cards do I have left? I have 1 card left. And now the interesting thing is, you can stay on a floor, but each time you would draw your 3rd card, you take a damage. So the longer you linger, the more damage you take. So, we're not there yet. So we'll say this is the start of a new turn. So I go 1, and then because I would have drawn another card, I go 2. So once this gets 3 counters on it, I take a damage. So, really, I mean, I've taken the turn, so I can flip over my last card. And now I get a choice. Oh, and I took damage. So that means I get another. What is it? I store 1 there for each damage I take, and I can store up to 2. Okay, so I got 2 of those on my heroic feat. I am actually going to do this. I'm going to take the chance. But as you can see, to do a magic shield, it costs 1 time. So it's going to put 1 more time there. If I spend 1 more time, it counts as damage. So I really want this to work. So I'm going to take my 2 blue dice, my heroic dice, and all I have to get is a 6. So let's hope I get a 6 with these 3 dice. Oh, that was a 5. That went there. And I did. I got my 6. No matter how you slice it. Oh, but I also have to cover that. Ooh. Okay. Oh, it still works. It still works. So the heroic dice covers the shield. And the 6 goes right there. Perfect. Ooh, that was close. I was about to eat some damage. All right. So right there in the nick of time, I've gotten one more enemy beaten. So what can I do here? Take the experience or take another sword. Or I can get an ability that says I can spend a red dice to prevent 1 heart of damage. Actually, I think I just want the experience for this. Okay, and that's floor 1. That is floor 1. So now what's neat is this one has an ability that says when you descend, heal 2 damage. So we're going to heal 2 damage off the warrior. By the way, game over occurs when you have the amount of hearts on your card that equals the amount of health you have. So the warrior has 6 damage. You guys picked a really hardy card for me. So whenever the warrior takes 6 damage, the game is over if I have no potions to heal. Which, by the way, you also get another potion when you descend. So, I'm going to give myself another potion. We're going to shuffle. Do a little bit of shuffling. And again, if you guys have any questions at all, if I'm going too fast, or if there's something you can't read, or if there's something you don't understand, please stop me. We can take our time with this. Oh, the music in the background, Run Disney, is that is the Dragon Quest XI soundtrack, which is a game I'm very tempted to start doing on Tuesday nights, if I'm being perfectly honest. One more shuffle should be good, since we discarded so many cards. Alright. So this goes here, on top of the stairs once again. And here's the rub, folks. We now get another dice slot that we have to fill for each of our encounters. Alright. But I've got 3 potions. I've got an extra magic. I've got a few heroic dice to choose from. I keep forgetting to leave one there. Okay, so once again, the Hall of Statues counts. That's still something we have to follow. So, spend an extra 5 time before your first turn on each floor. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Spend our 2 cards to start our first turn. 1, 2, which we're of course going to explore. We're gonna get our cards out. Get our secret rooms filled with traps and tricks and troubles and apparel. Alright, that's the end of that turn. Spend 2 more, and we now flip over a door. Behind door number 1! How many times have you played this game? I've played this game, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. I've only beaten this dungeon once. And this is the easiest dungeon. This game is not easy. Or again, I might not have figured out all the intricacies. Okay. So, it's a peril. It's a peril! I can either try to disarm these bear traps, or I can try to run through them by rolling an 11. I'll just disarm them. I'll spend the 3 time. 1, 2, 3. Because now here's the deal. Not only do I have to get 6 in red, but I also have to get, this is the peril side. This is the peril side here. This is the encounter side here. It's not an encounter, so I don't have to worry about these. But the peril side I do have to worry about. So not only do I have to roll the red 6s to cover these, I also have to roll a 2 in any color and a 6 in any color, which is nuts. So I'm going to take my 2 agility and my heroic dice for being at level 2. And I think I will roll at least one of my dice from my heroic feat. This is a lot of 6s. All right. One of them has to be a 6. One of them only has to be a 2, and then a combination of 2 have to equal 6. I actually am going to go ahead and use my other heroic dice as well. Okay. Any house rules? Not yet. I mean, obviously, I think if I made any house rules, I've made mistakes. There are things where I've gotten like halfway through and been like, oh, I forgot to do this, and it was an advantage. Almost anytime you forget to do something, it's an advantage to you in this game. So if I did make any house rules, it would be like not doing these or something along those lines. Just something to make the game a little easier, which honestly wouldn't be a bad idea. This game I could definitely see how a lighter learning curve would be beneficial. All right, here we go. Didn't get my 6, but let's see. I got a 2, so I can cover that up. I got 6 reds, and of course the black count as any color, so it doesn't matter. I did not get my 6. I could use a potion to change 2 of my dice to 6, which would get me out, but I can also use a potion to heal 3 damage. So at this point, I would rather just take the extra damage. So the encounter is over. I've spent my heroic feat dice, so they go back, and I take the 1 damage that was uncovered. Well, there we go. So the warrior is halfway dead once again. Oh, but I get this now. Okay. So once again, I have a choice of rolling this. I really like this potion. It's an invisibility potion. Spend 2 time and a potion. And I skip the encounter and go straight to the claim loot phase. So that's very fun and exciting. Yeah, and I've got 3 potions, so I could potentially use them to just start skipping battles. I actually think I'm going to take the item. I think I'd like to have a 3rd agility dice at this point. Okay. I like them to be lined up. All right. So that's not bad. Characters filling out here. I've got 2 items now. 1 skill beyond the one I already have. I think at this point I would like to go ahead and use a potion. So heal 3 damage from 1 hero at the start of a turn, or 2 damage anytime. Since it's the start of a turn, I'll go ahead and use a potion and heal all 3 damage. So there we go. My warrior is now as fresh as morning dew. She's wearing secret. It's strong enough for a man, but made for a woman. All right, so let's start a new turn. Spend my time. 1, 2. Okay. And let's flip over another card here. Let's see what we got. A glooping ooze. Fantastic. Can I risk light again? No, that makes it so much worse. Okay, there we go. All right. So, this one requires a little bit of magic. But I do have a lot of options now. I've got heroic dice. I've got a potion that lets me change 2 non-heroic dice to 6. A lot of blue. I need some blue. I'm actually going to skip this fight. This fight's going to be tough. I'm going to skip that one. So I flee, start a new turn. Spend 2 time. Flip over another card. Flame statues. $14. Can I do a 14 with 3 dice? 3 red dice. I do have that ability, the flame weave. If I want to do the disenchant. I'm gonna try for the dodge 'em. Let's try it. So that's gonna be 3 red dice. It's gonna be this dice as well. I'm gonna be honest. This is gonna be iffy, and I'm probably gonna take a hit. But here we go. Oh, a Mount Rushmore top 4. Do I not have the? Do I not have the thing for this one? Probably not. Dang it. Anyway, I don't have the Mount Rushmore effect on this camera piece, but Mount Rushmore top 4 favorite card game. Ooh, I would say Uno? Uno's really good. Probably Uno, and honestly, I mean, even just Texas Hold'em. Texas Hold'em's really good. And then it's so diverse, but then I would probably say the Pokemon card game. And then, ooh, I would say Magic the Gathering, but it's been so long since I played it. I don't know what it's like anymore. And there's a game at work we play called Wizard that's really fun. Wizard is really good because it's kind of like it's a game of trumps. It's like what game is it like? It's kind of like everyone at the table plays one card, and whoever has the highest card or a wild suit, and it's much more complicated than that, wins. But there are also, it's also you make a bet before the start of each round to decide how many tricks you're going to take. So then you don't want to take too many. So you also reach a point where you start underplaying. So it's really neat. So yeah, I'll say those 4. I'll say Pokemon, Wizard, Texas Hold'em, and Uno. There they are. Mount Rushmore top 4. All right, let's roll this dice and see how hard I die. Oh, not bad, actually. So it's a 6 and a 1. A 5 and a 5. Okay. I really wish this one had at least been a 2. Because I have to cover up this 2. Oh, that's rough, actually. Wait! Okay. Because, yeah, otherwise I'd be taking, like, 4 hits. Okay. I'm going to use a potion. And I'm going to use my heroism potion, which says change 2 of your non-hero dice to be 6s. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to change that one to a 6. And I'm going to change that one to a 6. Much better. Oops. Okay, so now I'll cover up the 2 with the 5, 6, 12, 18. Now covers that. So that does leave the 6 that I didn't roll, so we'll take 1 damage, which gives me 1 heroic dice from my frenzy ability. And that is going to be that. Not bad. Had to use a potion, but I'll take it because now so I could take a haste spell, which means I can cash in a 3 blue. I can cash in a blue 3 and roll 2 new reds. I think I'll take the experience is what I want to do here. So that gives me now 5 experience. 8 levels me to level 3. We'll take that. That'll be the way to go. Okay, so I've got 1 potion left. Good move, yeah. What are you guys' favorite card games? I want to know. 1, 2. I'm going to flip over another character here. And it's a speed log. Oh, spiked log. I'm sorry. I thought it was just a very fast log. I'm gonna spend the 2 time to clobber the logs. Which means I now have to roll yellow 8s using any combination of dice, and a 2 and a 6 with anything. So I'll take my 4 strength, my heroic dice. I think that should get us there, at least a little bit. Okay, very good, very good. Oh, very good. My goodness, that was amazing. All right, so we're going to cover up the 6 over here. We're going to cover up the 2 over here. We've got more than enough to cover the 8 down there. We're solid. We're so solid. That's a done deal. All right. I like them when they're strength-based. My warrior likes the strength challenges. So. Ooh. Here's what I want to do. I want this cleave. I can cash in a yellow dice and increase up to 4 of my other dice by 1 each. We're doing that. That sounds amazing. There we go. Yep, still got those. Okay, not bad at all. Cool. Sabacc. Oh yeah, I haven't played Sabacc. I've got a Sabacc deck downstairs, but I haven't played it yet. That's another dice and card game too. I like these. I like the combination. I like the cards and the dice. It really mixes things up because the cards can be randomized, the dice can be randomized. So once you kind of get all that together, it really opens up a lot of options for chance games. A baseball game that's really fun. Oh. Interesting. Is that played with like a regular deck, or is that like a special, this is the baseball game? That's interesting. Okay. All right, let's do another turn. 1, 2. Let's explore. Boom. All right, that's the end of that turn. Spend 2 more time to start a new turn, and boom. Okay. I like this. We've got a strong strength-based challenge over here. So let's go to destroy it. I won't have to spend any time. No time spent. I have to roll yellow 11 in any combination and get a 2 and a 6 of any dice. So I'll take my 4 of these. I'll take my heroic dice. I think I'll save the frenzy dice this time. We'll save the frenzy dice. It's a special deck. Okay. And it scores like a regular baseball game. Nice. That sounds fun. All right, here we go. Luck be a lady tonight. Some good, some bad. Let's see if I spend this on the 6 over there. I've got to get 11 down here. Can I do that? Could I spend... Now, I could use my cleave ability and increase up to 4 dice by discarding this 1. So if I did that, that'll give me a 6, 11... Oh, that'd do it. That would do it. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to use cleave, which is discard a yellow dice. This one, no brainer. To raise up to 4 dice by 1 each. So that becomes a 6. That becomes a 5. This becomes a 3. And now things start to shape up very nicely. So the 3 can cover the shield. The 6 covers the 6. There's 11 that perfectly cover. That's perfection, folks. Doesn't get much better than that. All right. Okay, so that went very well indeed. So let's sort everything back out. And we loot the loot phase. I can get a new potion. Reroll all your 1s and 2s and an extra heroic dice. I could add 1 more sword, or I could get 2 experience, which would leave me 4, 5, 6, 7, just 1 shy. I think I'll take the potion. So now I've got some good potion options down here, which also gives you a potion. I don't remember if I gave myself an extra potion last time or not, but when you take a new potion, you get a potion. So very good. Okay. I like that. So now, as you see, what's interesting about this game is as you go through, you obviously get more dice to roll, and you get more ways to change and manipulate what you roll with those dice. So, pretty cool. Let's do another turn. I'll flip another card. Ooh. Ew. Okay. Ew. Yep. Good music option there. So the weak option is magic, which I am not doing great. The stronger option is agility, which I'm also not that great in. And of course, I still have to fill those dungeon requirements as well. No, I don't like it. I'm gonna run away. Flee. Start a new turn. Flip our last card here over. Better. Okay, I like this. Let me kind of swap these positions here. All right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to fight this. Sorry. I'm going to flip the whole table. There we go. I'm going to fight this Phantom. Ethereal. Immediately discard all 1s and 3s rolled. I hate it. And then I've just got a lot of yellows and reds to cover. So we're going to do that. Let's do all that. So let's get all my dice together. 4 yellows. 3 reds. 3 reds. And blues for whoever's best boy. And my heroic dice. And see how it starts becoming so much dice. And you know what? I'm going to use my frenzy dice as well. So we're going to take the heroic feat. And let's see if we can cover some squares, folks. Okay. Got a few 6s. Alright, so what I really hate is that we had this ethereal, which is immediately discard all 1s and 3s rolled. So the 1s are gone. 1s and 3s are gone. Oh my gosh. Ugh, okay. That was terrible. Too many 1s and 3s, guys. So this is what I'm left with. To cover a lot of squares. This one's going to be called damage mitigation, folks. I could discard this and raise this to a 6 and a 5, but oh, and I have to cover these. So that doesn't really matter. Okay, so that has to be covered. That was, oh, I hated that ethereal. That was terrible. Let's see, do one of my potions help here? I can change 2 non-dice to 6s. Yeah, let's do that. Let's definitely change 2 non-heroic dice to 6. So that becomes a 6. That becomes a 6. Alright, so I have a lot of 6s, but not many of them. Alright, well, I'll actually use a heroic dice to cover the red 4. Use one of these to cover this, because the shields have to be covered first. This is so bad. Alright. I have no blue, so that's out. I can cover that up. I also want to cover this up because it's just pure damage. Then I'll use this to cover up just this. It doesn't matter too much. Okay. So I'm going to take some damage here. And a lot of it. 1 at a time. I'll go ahead and spend my time. And then hearts. That means 1, 2, 3, 4 hearts go on my warrior. Any other character would have just died. But my warrior is hanging on by 1 heart. And that's the end of that turn. Good gravy. Although it did take a lot of damage, so that means my frenzy stacks back up. Okay. Oof. All right. But now I get the loot. I get the loot, folks. And this is good loot. The ability is I can trade in 3 yellows to gain a 5 yellow, a 5 red, and a 5 blue, then make one of them a 6. So it's really like I only trade in 2 and get a red 5 and a blue 5 for it. That's not bad at all. This is also good over here. But I really need more blues. I'm going to take that ability. So I'm now full on abilities. I have 3 skills. Okay. Another... Ooh. I'm also going to use a potion to heal 3 of these immediately. Let's get those off. Great. Okay. Perfect. I love it. All right. 1, 2. Oh, we found the stairs, but let's complete the turn first. Don't really want to explore here. Let's, I definitely wouldn't do this because I can't roll anything else to help me other than blues and blacks. And I'd have to do the 11, and I'd spend 3 times. That would do a damage. So if anything, I'd fight him. And I don't want to do that. So I'm actually going to say that's it. So that's the end of that floor. Once again, I'll use the Second Wind ability, which heals 2 damage upon descending. Which means we are now down to the 3rd floor. And oof. I'm going to be honest. I'm underleveled at this point. It's getting rougher and rougher each time. I haven't really gotten the... I've wanted more magic and more agility, and I just haven't gotten it. It just hasn't been happening. So we're probably not too much longer for this game. Like I said, I've played it like 5 or 6 times and only won once. So, goodness gracious almighty. All right, once again, the Hall of Statues. Burn 5 times right out the gate. 3, 4, 5. I'll go ahead and spend my 2 cards to explore. And spend my 2 cards to flip a card. Okay. So I kind of did that upkeep really fast, but that gets us right to... Bam. A locked door. How perilous. But now, as you see, not only, if I bash it open, not only would I have to roll an 11 with any combination of my 4 strength dice, but I also have to now cover all 3 of these dungeon requirements over here. Which, let me... There we go. Goodness gracious. But I do want to do that. Let's, I'm actually going to try to... no. Yeah, let's bash it open. Let's try to bash it open. So again, with my 4 strength, my heroic dice. Do I want to do a frenzy? I do need at least 3 dice here and 2 dice here. So the bare minimum with good rolls, this would get me there. I'll use 1 frenzy dice and see where that gets me. So again, bashing it open. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. What even was that? Okay. Alright, well I think I'm definitely going to use my cleave, which is, oh no, not cleave. Well, yeah, cleave. So I'll discard one of these to increase 4 dice by 1 point. So, let's go 5. 5. 3. 3. Alright. Oh, okay. Actually, no. Let's keep one of these a 2. And make this one a 4. There we go. So what that's going to allow me to do is cover up a shield. Cover up a shield. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Use those to perfectly cover these up. Whoops. Lost a dice. It appears to have rolled under some furniture. We'll get that when the time comes. Anyway, that was covered. That's good, that's good. I'll just take the 1 heart of damage here. So that's not a problem. Plus, that gives me back my... that dice. A frenzy. Gives me a frenzy. Alright, now what I'm going to use this for... I do need another blue. Yeah, I just need another blue, so I'm going to take it. Okay, so now I've got 4 reds, 4 yellows, 3 reds, 3 blues. Not bad at all. And a few black dice to help me through as well. So, things are shaping up a little better. 1, 2. Yeah, let's do the climb around. 1, 2, 3. Take my 3 agility dice. And I'm just gonna give me everything. Give me all my heroic dice. Let's do this. I'm so scared now. Because of all my 1s I roll. Alright. So again, the shields have to be covered up first. So I have to cover up 2. And a 5. Most of my... yeah, none of my abilities are red based. So that might have been a bad choice. What is that back there? A 6, which I don't have. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't have enough for that either. So that's going to be 2 hearts of damage there. 1 heart of damage from the dungeon requirement. But, yep, that's 2 more. I get my frenzy back. These go back over here. I will actually just take the experience. Boom. That gets me to level 3. These cards are exiled. And I level up to level 3, which I can now have 5 items, 4 skills. Still just the 1 dice. I get an extra potion. Boom, I leveled up. Very nice. Oh, a stretch. Yes. A stretch. All right. Well, I'm going to be honest, guys. I was a little tired when I started the stream. I'm just kind of out of steam. I feel like this was really interesting at the beginning. I feel like it's gone on a little long. I hope you guys have been entertained, seeing and learning how this game works. It's very fun to play by yourself. It might not be as much fun to watch. I'm not sure. But I wanted to give it a whirl and see what you guys thought of it. So yeah, what did you guys think of Deck Dungeon? Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, this was like, it was like $20 at I got it at a board game store. I'm sure you could find it online. And as I said, there is also a Steam version of this. So there's now a video game version of this now available. By the way, let me tell you guys how this probably would have gone. I probably would have hung in there up until the dragon, up until the boss. So what happens is, when you get to the boss, the dungeon requirements card flips over, and boom, there's our dragon. So I would have ended up then fighting this dragon. All the other cards, all this stuff ends up becoming not used. This flips over. We go from turn reference to boss fight to just get a new set of directions. So now instead of turns, we have rounds. And as you can see, these extreme requirements, you have to cover these requirements every single round. Every time you roll the dice, you have to be able to cover a yellow 17, yellow 6, blue 16, blue 6, 5, 5, 6, and you deal damage by covering up these skull icons. So to do damage to the dragon, you have to cover up the skull icons. But you also want to cover these up, because these will deal 4 damage to you each. It's brutal. But if you can cover one of these squares up 6 times, deal 6 hearts of damage to him, you will defeat the dragon and beat the dungeon. If you can deal 6 damage to him before he deals 6 damage to you. And I think that's even in the instructions. It's like, if you can cover him up, if you can cover up the 6th one, you win. I don't think you can like kill each other. I could be wrong. I don't remember exactly how that works. But that is the final boss. Yeah, of the dungeon. So let's raid. Sheeb, are you live? Are you about to go live? Let's see. You are not. Okay, so I won't be raiding Sheeb tonight. Check Sheeb out. If you were here, I'll flip the camera up. Hi, there's me. Hi. I'm here. There's so many. Anyway. Ugh. Hi, I'm real. I'm here. I didn't put on my makeup or my hat. This is what we have for now. My boy King Worth is streaming. That's good. I tell you, yeah, screw it. I'm kind of out of brain power tonight. So let's just raid. Let's raid King Worth. Let's do it. There he is, Mr. Worth himself. All right, so thanks everybody for watching. We are Riff Arcade. We typically play video games, and we'll probably be doing so for the rest of the week. We stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we have videos on YouTube and Facebook every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Be sure to check those out. This weekend, on Saturday, the video this weekend is Secret Santa for Christmas. It's a stealth pixel indie game. And on Thursday, I think we're going to be playing a game called Played Up, which is like Overcooked, but with a roguelike spin. So check that out. And we will see you on the next episode of Riff Arcade. Thanks for watching, everybody.